Hi, this is Aaron Dubinsky coming to you today from the Chut Shel Chesed Yeshiva in the holy city of Yerushalayim in Israel, under the auspices of our beloved Rabbi and spiritual guide, Rabbi Shalom Arush. May Hashem bless him always. Well, today I have for you a love story. I hope you're going to like it. It's a really, really good story, and it's also very enduring. Let me ask you something. Is there anyone that you truly love? And each one of you will have a different answer for this. It could be your husband, it could be your wife, could be your children, could be your parents, could be a beloved aunt, uncle, cousin, or just a very, very dear friend. If there is someone like that in your life, I want you to think about this for a minute. Now, you would hope, as a very, very dear friend who you love very, very much, that they would do anything for you. And the chances are you'd be right. But what is more important, this is what makes you know that you love someone, is that you would do anything for them. Let me repeat that. You would do anything for them. Anything for their well-being. If they needed something, you'd be there. If they wanted something and it was in your power, you'd be there. It was a matter of taking them someplace, doing something for them, whatever it is, you'd be there. This is what makes you their love, and you their love, and them your love, because you would do anything for this person. Now, again, I don't always get into parshas Shavua, but this week I'm going to, again, make an exception because it's so intensely beautiful. If you know Parsha Eikev by heart, I strongly encourage you to go back through your mind, say it out loud, and listen to what you're saying. It's so vitally important. If you do not know it by heart, which most of us do not, I want you to take it out in a language you understand. Go to your Chumash, and I want you to read it. And I don't mean read it in the style of a 28-minute shachris. I mean read it. Read it out loud and listen to what you're saying. Because this week, Moshe Rabbeinu delivers a love letter from Hashem to his people Israel. Really, that's what it is. It's a love letter. When you read it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to take a few excerpts. Actually, I'm going to take many excerpts out because I think they're also vitally important. Listen to this. He, Hashem, will love you. He will bless you. He will multiply you. He will bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain, your wine, your oil, the offspring of your cattle, the herds of the flock, on the land that he swore to your forefathers to give to you. You will be most blessed of all people. That's a heck of a commitment. I mean, think about that. That's a really great commitment. This is a love story, but it's a love story that has endured for millennia. It started with Abraham Avinu, continued on through Moshe Rabbeinu, and continues to us to this very day. That's 3,000 years, friends. That's a long, long time for a love relationship to go on. Don't get me wrong. There have been bumps in the road like in any relationship. But this is what it is based on. What I just read to you, this love. I read this, and every time I read this, I think to myself, well, what do we have to do for that? And we're going to get to that in a minute. You'll understand why the question is so poignant. It says, Hashem will remove from you every illness, all the bad maladies of Egypt that you knew, and he will put them not upon you, but will put them upon your foes. Wow. That's a great deal, huh? We don't get to have the illnesses that we had back then. He's going to put them upon our foes so that we can be stronger and they can be weaker. It says, all the commandments. This is where we get to the loophole. This is where we get to what does Hashem want from us. It starts here. All the commandments that I command you today, you shall observe to perform, so that you may live and increase and come and take possession of the land that Hashem swore to your forefathers. Even when he asks for us to do something, it's for our benefit. It's not for his benefit. Does he need us to do this? Well, in a way, we'll get to that in just a minute. But everything we do is for our benefit, to make us live longer, to make us be happier, to make us be more prosperous in everything that we do. It says you should know in your heart, this is part of the other side, that just as the Father will chastise his Son, so Hashem your God chastises you. You shall observe the commandments of Hashem your God to go in his ways and fear him. Fear is not the proper translation of the word. The word really means to be in awe of him. And when you see what he's done, the plagues in Egypt and all the things he's done, all the miracles he's done over a millennium for us, when you see them all, you understand. You would have to be in awe of this. I mean, could we do it? We couldn't do this. Only he can do this. So we have to be in awe of him for that. It says, take care lest you forget Hashem your God, who leads you through the great and awesome wilderness. This is back in the times of Egypt. Through the great awesome wilderness, snake, fiery serpent, scorpion, and brings forth water for you from the rock of flint. For you, not for him, for you. Who feeds you manna in the wilderness, in which your forefathers knew not, in order to afflict you, in order to test you, to do good for you. That's us. In our end, in your end, our end. And you may say in your heart, my strength and the might of my hand made all this wealth. Yeah, you'd be wrong, by the way. Then you shall remember Hashem your God, that it was he who gives you strength to make wealth, in order to establish his covenant that he swore to your fathers as this day. A covenant that lasts over 3,000 years. And now Israel. Here we get to the punchline. What does Hashem, your God, ask of you, but to be in awe of Hashem, your God, to go in all his ways, and to love him, as he loves you, and to serve Hashem, your God, with all your heart and with all your soul, to keep the commandments of Hashem, his statutes, which I command you today for your benefit. Again, not for Hashem, it's for our benefit. Everything he commands us is for us. Because why? Because he would do anything for us. That shows he loves us. And we should be willing, on the converse side, to do exactly the same. To be willing to do anything for him. Now, one thing that's very important. But the land to which you cross over to take possession of it is a land of mountains and valleys. By the rain of the heavens it drinks water. A land that Hashem your God seeks out. The eyes of Hashem your God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year unto the end of the year. From the beginning of the year to the end of the year. It says in the Psalms that the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, but he keeps his eye upon the land from the beginning of the year until the end of the year. This is a great love story. This is a great love song. It's Hashem's way through Moshe Rabbeinu of telling the people of Israel how much they're beloved by him, the same way as you would tell your children how much you love them and what you would do for them. You would do anything for them. But you have to remember, like it says, chastising is part of the deal. It's not a punishment. It's because he loves you. The example being, you see your 3-year-old walking across the room with a fork in his hand, and it's so cute that he's got a fork because he doesn't even use a fork yet. Then you see he's headed to put it into an electrical outlet, at which point you run up, you grab it out of his hand, you slap his hand, you say, no. Did you punish him? No. Did you chastise him? Of course you did. Why? Could you like him to live to be 4 years old? And if he sticks that fork in that outlet, he's not going to make it. Well, in the life that we live, in our relationship with Hashem, we're the 3-year-old. We get slapped. We cry because we don't know what we did wrong. But Hashem, he knows. And as you can see, paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, what he does it not for himself. He does it for us. So beware for yourselves, lest your heart be seduced and will turn astray and serve other gods. That's all he doesn't want us to do. He wants us to stay with him. We have a winner. We have the right place to be. We have the way we need to live our lives. It says, for if observing, you will observe all of his commandments that I command you, to perform it, to love Hashem your God, to go in all his ways and cleave to him, Hashem will drive out all these nations from before you, and you will drive out nations greater and mightier than you. No man, this is how it ends. You love this. Great, I love a good ending. No man will stand up before you. Hashem, your God, will set your terror and your fear on the face of the entire land where you will tread as he spoke to you. It's a love letter. I can't describe it any other way. It's a love letter. It tells us how much Hashem loves us. And even at times where we see that he might be against us, it's not because he's against us. It's because he sees we're making the wrong moves, we're doing the wrong things. We will hurt ourselves. We will stick the fork into that electric light socket, and we can't do that. It will be too harmful to us, so he stops us before we do it. Yes, there are things he does to us from time to time, and we need to know they're for our good. And so we will live longer. You honor your father and your mother so that your days will be longer upon the face of the earth that God gave you. That's why he gives them to us. Everything is designed to make his children's life better and more meaningful. I want to end with this. At the beginning of the Ein Keloheinu, at the beginning, we say a little paragraph. And most of us mumble right through it. But I want to read it to you because it's important. You need to hear it. Hope in the Lord. Be strong. Let your heart be valiant and hope in the Lord. None is holy as the Lord, for there is none aside from you, and there is none mighty as our God. For who is God except the Lord, and who is mighty other than our God? This is the strength we need. This is the strength we take. It takes us from here, where we are, to where we need to be, to do our own personal geula, so that we can help in the final geula, which will bring us the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu and the building of the third Beit HaMikdash. Bimhei Rabbi Ameinu, be well, my friends. And remember, if there's anything you want, please leave a note, and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can for a shiur. Also, if you're going to on Rosh Hashanah, you want to contact me because I have rooms. I have beds available. And they're at one of the most finest establishments, most well-established establishments. Its own mikveh. It's beautiful. The in Uman. Contact me, and let me put you there so we can share Rosh Hashanah together. Be well, my friends. All of you have a great Shabbos. All the best.